started doing. And so same time he had asked me if similar people from the friends or family would like to join, and I asked a few close friends and family. I think everybody gave some or the other excuse or not now, maybe later on and something like that. Once we started doing asceticism of the Exodus and following the reflections, it was so happened that whatever we used to discuss ahead or share used to be followed in the reflections of the Exodus. So we were quite surprised many a times how these people knew about what we were doing. So this asceticism has actually brought in a routine in our daily life. So some of the asceticisms like having cold showers, doing your morning offerings, doing your nightly examine, trying to avoid using the mobile in front of others, has become a habit by default. Even if there is no exercise we follow, it is there in the routines, in our daily routines. So this is one of the major things that has changed in my life. There was a lot of changes internally within, in terms of not only behavioral wise, attitude wise, and the way we relate to life. Things we are called to do is be a man for others and be the priest of the house. So this is my wish going forward when I continue in this exercise, to grow more closer, not only for myself but for the family, and being the priest of the house, lead the family to a more holistic and Catholic way of life. The good thing about Exodus is teaches you to be disciplined, and disciplined in a way wherein you grow in your relationship with God, and it helps you.
You know what God wants out of you is you to be united with Him and to have a relationship with Him, and that relationship will start here. The journey starts here in earth, and then the journey is completed in heaven. This learning was amazing for me because I never thought it like this. I always thought that if I profess Jesus Christ as Lord, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I continue to struggle with my sinful self and continue living this life, I will reach heaven. Finally, it's heaven. But when I heard and when I came to know through this Exodus way that I could be in purgatory for I don't know how many years, in 1,000 years, I don't know, and I said, oh, this is not the way to live. Then they put out the point that sin and the consequence of sins is why you are like what you're thinking. So I then made a choice. Then you make. Then I got Viju said something very important. He says, "Man is a man of where you are because of your choices that you make." And then that choices part comes into play in that Exodus lesson. So that one big thing which I learned is this: that if I want to go to heaven, sin has to be totally taken off, and that you struggle your ways, and second, God will also help you with His graces to take that sin out of your life. So sin is one thing which I've done. I have to have money, bank balance, security, education for my kid, and this is all very important. So this actually has a very dominant part of my life. I'm quite dominated by that part that things should be secure. I don't like life to be going up one day and going down one day, becoming poor one day and becoming rich one day. I don't want to be rich also, I don't want to be very poor also. So I want to have a stable life, and that was what I was wanting. Joined Exodus, and then learning is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This world, nothing matters actually. Everything they said is vanity, and then it struck me, vanity of vanity, everything is vanity. What would you do if you have that stable, comfortable life and lose God? What if you have that stable life which you thought with no fluctuation of money is enough, your children are studying well, and your job is stable, and all this you keep, and you lose God. So this all world becomes a vanity and a screen of matrix kind of effect. No,
Illusion.
You end up is one more thing is that you never die. One more big learning was I will never die. I will live forever. So where would I want to live? I said, how will I live forever? Then we discussed with Greg, and how do I live forever? It seems the soul which I have will get the same body that I have when after I die. So this body will continue to be my body in heaven. That means I'm just dead temporarily. I'll continue to live. And how is my afterlife going to look is what I should be preparing now. And when all that realization comes, it says, this money, this thing, this, all that I'm chasing, all that don't worry, God takes care of all of this. Your thoughts should be towards God. And that is the challenge for me, a big challenge. Probably this is one challenge which I'm trying to fight and come out, because
Challenge for most men actually.
Yeah, because
challenge for most men,
because
especially family men.
Yeah, because we are responsible to the family. We don't want our family to suffer. We want to see our family is in a stable. We want our children to be stable. We want everything to be stable. Not nothing too bad, nothing too great. But stability is where we count, and it's a challenge for me to even think in those lines. So thought process, which was here, has changed in two big steps. One of heaven and one of sin. So sin and heaven are two things which Catholicism, third learning. I thought Catholicism is nothing, just I didn't know the church was so deep. There are so much of levels of prayer, so much of we do not know. I am a catechist, and I thought they taught me in catechism this. I've done some CCD. Actually, we've done a lecture on CCD. We've done one whole year of CCD learning. We've done. I've finished a whole CCD book taught by the church. But what is taught in Exodus is in prayer, especially now. Take for prayer. Prayer. There are 9 levels of prayer and unitive way of prayer. This is, I don't know whether anybody whether the priests, I want to know whether the priests are taught, whether the bishops are taught on this kind of prayer and the unitive way and how you become in union with God. No, so my learning is what we Catholics are taught about our religion. We are not impressed. We are not, we are not proud. We do not know what we have in the Catholic Church. It's so much. It's like an iceberg. What we have is just the tip of the iceberg. But the entire Catholic faith, if you go to learn, because the saints have put doctrines and this, 90% is hidden, not shared. Nobody wants to come out of it. And I said, and that for me, because I'm a catechist now for nearly 25 years. Sorry, I'm from 1998. I'm a catechist. And what we are teaching for the children is just the tip of that iceberg. And what was told to me by the church, by my teacher of my catechism, who told me, this is the tip of the iceberg. It is not still in depth, And there is a lot more. And so each exercise teaches you something which isn't the Catholic Church, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. If I can't even. I spoke to some catechists also. What is? So they don't know, and this is just the halfway. Another halfway to go, and I'm longing to go for the next. So that's something.
What is actually Exodus 90? That is very important to know. Exodus is a part of your Bible, Old Testament, which is taken, and it talks about the journey about Israelites, how they are free from Egypt. But why it is 90 days? That's also very important. So the question is, how will you stop doing it?
Do a sacrifice.
What kind of sacrifice?
Not doing it.
Yeah, but
What is the question?
Yes, not doing it. You know what? You have to do it for 90 days to actually stop doing it in your future. So what it is
Isn't that so long?
scientifically it is saying you have to not do it for 90 days to actually not do it for future. Forever. It's a spiritual journey from where you are. You are enslaved actually. You are in a in this worldly environment, you see things in a worldly way, you think in a worldly way, you want things, you want this, you want phones, you want this app, you want to do this, but all are worldly things. You want money, so money is also a worldly thing. So these are all worldly attachments.
Yeah.
So Exodus actually lets you get free out of that. Free out of this worldly attachment and grow in your spiritual life. That is the journey what we are actually doing in this last 2 years. So it's a spiritual journey.
Everybody in this room needs to be having a personal prayer life. Okay? What it means to have a personal prayer life? It means that you need to be consistent. You have to be daily consistent, praying daily for whatever time you start off. You may start off with 5 minutes and then you will grow in your daily prayer life. Is to have attention and devotion. I always tell Faustina, have attention and devotion. When you do your rosary, have attention and devotion. So that's very important. This is the first type of the prayer, the personal prayer that you do. Second type of personal prayer is very important, that is meditation. When you do meditation, you actually travel to God by train. You're sitting in a train and you go fast. And what you do in this meditation, there are 4 steps that you do. First is you read, then you think about what you have read, then you use that to speak to God, and then you wait quietly to listen to Him. This is something that I'm explaining to you what is Lectio Divina, but that's the easy way to explain to anybody. Because when you read slowly, you read with your eyes, then what happens is you take that to your brain, you process it, then that processed output comes to your heart and you speak to God from your heart, and after you have spoken, you wait and He talks to you. This is the second level of prayer where you go to God in prayer. The third level of prayer is called contemplation, where you go to God in plain. You sit and He takes you, and you are actually going much more faster. I would say I was doing a lot of stuff, but I did not have a consistent prayer life. So Exodus has taught me to what it means to have a consistent prayer life and what you need to do in prayer. Asceticism will teach you a very, very, very fundamental concept which you pray every day in the Our Father prayer. You pray that Thy will be done, which means God will be done in your life. Right? You pray Thy will be done. What happens in our normal daily life is we always want our will. We want our will. We want to watch TV, we want to watch movies, we want to eat food, have ice cream, and this is our will. We always like our will to be done because we are happy, we get pleasure in it. God's will, and we pray, what are we praying? Then God's will be done. And that is the total opposite. So if you want to learn how to do God's will, you need to start doing the asceticism, which is the fasting. What happens when you do this, all the asceticism? Give you a very simple example. If you want to watch TV or a match going on that time, and you like to watch that particular movie or anything which is going on TV, you will go, and because you like it, you will say, no, I will not watch it now. You will go away from that pleasure. What are you doing in that process? You are saying, my will not be done. So when you are saying, my will not be done, which means you are allowing God to work in your life. So that is the first aspect of the asceticism. And the second aspect of asceticism is what we have learned. Personally, what I have learned is you have to have a lot of silence in your life. If you want to hear God talking to you, you will not listen unless you have silence. And how does the silence come about? Silence comes about by not listening to music, to video. I know you have questions, but let me complete. Music, video games, all the noise that happens around you. If you want to cut yourself from all the music and all the noise, and then you go in your prayer life, you will listen to God. So that's the second aspect. And the third point that I want to share is about fraternity. Now, this is a very, very fundamental thing that I learned in Exodus, because before Exodus, I thought, I don't need to share what I'm doing as what I've learned in my prayer. I don't need to share it with you. It's not important for me. Why should I share? It's my faith, my life, and I'm doing okay. I don't expect anybody to be like me. So why should I share?
But fraternity changed the thing that we do. When we live in a fraternity, what happens is we are living together as a community, and we are modeling ourselves on what Christ modeled. Now Jesus, what he did, he lived in a fraternity. He lived with the apostles. Whenever he used to send people outside. He used to send, nobody is sent like go one person go. He used to say go 2 by 2. So there was a fraternity of at least 2 people going out. So this model is created by Jesus because he knows that this is the most successful model. And therefore you see all religious communities, they will live in community. They will live together, they will pray together. That model applies to us also. So this is the third and most important thing that I learned, because what does the devil do? The devil will start isolating people. Best way to not grow in your spiritual life is to live in isolation. So he isolates people and he keeps separate. Okay, let Viju be separate, let Santik live separately. And now we are living together, we are sharing our challenges. We know that this is a difficult life to live, to do prayers and to do this thing. But there is a lot of learning in what we do, and it is applicable for everybody actually. That's what is Christian life.